If your dog has separation anxiety and you don't actually know where to start, practicing departures without building a solid foundation first may stall progress. By the time you leave the house to practice departures, your dog's anxiety is likely to have been triggered already, and the brain can't learn anything when it's in a panic. What helps instead is to build a foundation at home first. In this video, I'm going to teach you the steps to building that foundation. I'm Alex, a professional dog behavior consultant with over 21 years experience working with anxious dogs and their human parents. So, obviously, the ultimate goal is for your dog to become emotionally independent from you and to not panic when you're not there. In other words, to feel safe even if you're not there. But in order for that to happen, in other words, in order for your dog to learn to feel safe when you're not there, they first need to learn to feel safe when you're there, but not available to them. So, this is what you can do to help them learn to feel safe even when you're home, but not available to them. So, if you do this foundation work first, then you stand a much better chance of success once you start practicing real departures. So, step number one, and they're equally important. Step number one, give your dog attention when they act needy. I know that many people say, no, just ignore your dog. And that is actually not going to help because when emotional needs aren't met, then anxiety rises. So, what you can do instead is if your dog or whenever your dog needs reassurance, give them reassurance. But then when you decide that you've given them enough, you just signal the end of the interaction and don't interact anymore. You can say something like, that's it, or that's over, or that's all, or whatever cue makes more sense to you. Just make sure that you always use the same cue, that you always say the same thing when you're going to disengage from your dog. Now, what if the second or the minute that you disengage from them, they solicit your attention again? My advice is to actually give them a bit more attention because that means maybe the attention you gave them wasn't enough to give them reassurance. And then just signal the end of the interaction again and then ignore them. Even if they carry on acting needy, just ignore them. So when should you give attention again? Well, maybe the next time they ask for it, provided that about 1 hour has gone by. Step number two, just respect moments of independence. So whenever you are working in the living room, for example, and your dog is playing with a toy in another room or taking a nap somewhere else, don't call them over to you. Don't go and check on them. Don't go and interact with them. Every time your dog is doing something apart from you, that is a moment of feeling emotionally independent from you. And so we want more of those moments to happen. And that's why you need to respect those moments and not call your dog over to you, not go check on them. Another thing that helps is to create barriers at home. For example, when you go into another room, just close the door behind you. When you go in the kitchen, close the door behind you. If you go to the bathroom, close the door behind you. So why should this happen? What actually happens is most of the time that you're home, your dog has access to you. So there's no chance to practice this, I'm around, but I'm not available. It's like your dog learns that whenever you're home, you're always available. And then by the time you do a real departure, that is a huge emotional contrast for them. It's like togetherness, 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 and then suddenly there's a void that they feel. Now, if you do these so-called departures at home, that is a much kinder way of transitioning to real departures. So introduce a goodbye cue, just like the one you say when you actually leave the house or when you do a real departure. It can be see you just now or see you later, whatever it is that you usually say to your dog. Again, make sure that it's always the same cue that you give them. Don't say see you just now and sometimes say be a good boy. Just always ensure to say the same thing. So what you're going to do is, as you make your way to go wash your hands, just say, see you just now, for example, if that's the cue that you choose, and then close the door behind you. And then, you're going about your business at home, and then you decide to go into the bedroom to do something, and you're going to say your see you just now, the same departure cue, and close the door behind you. And every time, I'm not asking you to take extra time to practice these departures at home. I'm just asking you to take the opportunity, like turn them into training moments whenever you naturally go to a bedroom or go into the bathroom or go into the office or whatever. Just make sure to always say goodbye to your dog, see you just now, and close the door behind you. And this is actually, like I mentioned just now, the best way to transition to real departures, because by doing it like this, you are much less likely to be triggering your dog's anxiety because they know there's a barrier, there's a closed door, but you're there, which is not as hard for them or not as challenging as when the door closes and you're actually gone. So I hope this video helps, and if you enjoy it, just go down and hit the subscribe button to enjoy more videos. Our channel is all about anxiety and separation anxiety in dogs. Take care.